Anonymous Phenomena Records collection. This collection includes digital copies of all unidentified UAP records
that's
that
interesting.
can be publicly disclosed. This commitment in transparency is vitally important, and unnecessary overclassification has led to a void of information, which has allowed theories over the decades to foster. When the American people and members of Congress asked, are reports of UAPs credible, we're met with stonewall. We're met with responses of I can't tell you, and in fact, we're met with people not wanting us to have hearings. We're met with people not
I want to know about the goddamn aliens. Hopefully y'all can see. But hang on, I'm trying to check the video.
In a time of heightened distrust of
For
our
real.
Institutions,
Even this guy's like, one of these guys are like, I don't trust our government right now.
And obviously we can respect national security limits, but we also have to provide our constituents with the information and oversight that they have tasked us.
Looks like you guys got a good view.
It's part of...
Like, subscribe, share, hit thumbs up. We got another immigration we're going to.
Members of Congress.
So you heard it here first. Supposedly, according to that Mexican dude we were just speaking to that also spoke English, that claims he's a citizen, he says in a month they're closing down that place and they're all going back. That's the Lake Street Immigration Shelter. And that's as of, what day is today? November 26, 2024. And 1 month from today, the Lake Street Immigration Shelter will be gone. And they'll all be getting sent back. You heard it here. You heard it here first. I don't think the news is advertising that. Only my channel is advertising that, not the news.
One of those came out of Area 51.
Now, this shit's interesting. You're saying a UFO just came out of Area 51?
Was down. Americans have questions about whistleblowers who have come forward to talk about this. And so,
sorry.
I want to thank everyone for being involved in it today, trying to get more transparency. This has been bipartisan, bicameral.
Oh man, I got pounded headache.
And as we get into a new administration, the president-elect has talked about opportunities to declassify.
Danny Trump's going to expose the aliens.
He lives up to
or AI aliens, whatever the hell they are. They're not of this earth, or they're not humanly.
And I would now, committee staff asked me to go ahead and do it, to enter into the congressional record this 12-page document that Michael Schellenberger brought
12-page document? How tiny is the print?
Government program. So we will do that now. Every member up here has a copy of it. The first section talks about the unacknowledged special access program called Immaculate Constellation, and the second section about USG imagery intelligence. And
I tried to read the comments at the end of the video.
Immaculate Constellation, I'll be on some list. Maybe a FISA warrant, so come at me, bro.
I'm sure you got that notification bell turned on, because we're about to do a video unrelated to UFOs.
All right, so next we will introduce our witnesses for today's hearing. Thank you so much for being here. Our first witness is
earlier we did 2 5 lives. We got like 86 watch hours on one of the lives in the last like 3 lives.
At Ocean STL Consulting. Our second witness is Mr. Lou Elizondo, a former Department of Defense official and author of a recent bestseller book about UAPs. Our third witness is Mr. Michael Schellenberger, founder of the newsletter Public, and author of a recent journalistic piece about special access programs, including one widely identified as Immaculate Constellation. I swear the staff wants me on the list. Okay, and our last witness today is Mr. Michael Gold, a former NASA official.
Oh, NASA official.
Of the NASA UAP.
The last witness.
Welcome, everyone. We're pleased to have you today. Pursuant to Committee Rule 9G, the witnesses will please stand and raise your right hands. Swear against me. Do you solemnly swear to
raise your jack off arm?
You are about to give.
That you play with your dick with.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Let the record show that the witnesses all answered in the affirmative. We appreciate all of you being here today and look forward to your testimony.
I wonder if anyone's ever done that in this type of courthouse and got in trouble for not telling the truth. Ever in the history of America, I wonder if that's ever happened.
When you begin to speak, the light.
Can you guys hear it?
Green,
Oh shit, we got 773-630 crew watching. What's up, bro? Can you hear the video good?
So first, recognize Rear Admiral
Cool.
Odette to please begin the opening remarks.
Thank you for this opportunity to testify to the authority to identify the unidentified object, UAP. Confirmation that UAPs are real came to me in January of 2015.
I already saw this.
Commander of the Navy Meteorology and Oceanography Command. At the time, my personnel...
They keep playing the same thing over and over.
Naval exercise.
Let's see what they're saying about Putin. I don't blame Putin if he shoots a nuke at us. If we give Ukraine a nuclear warhead and they shoot it into Russia, honestly, I couldn't even be mad at Putin.
So you can see this car is doing the P042.
Storm Shadows. The ATACMS, of course, is the American system. Storm Shadow is the British system, which have quite long range and can hit inside Russia.
Where's all my
But
viewers
both of
at?
them are very, very dangerous by definition. I think that what one has to consider, first of all, as I believe Angela Stemke, your previous speaker, said, it is critical that Ukraine and the West that's backing Ukraine do not back down. The use of
Yeah, we need to back down. Fuck Ukraine. Ukraine is not worth risking World War III.
Ukraine and even more
And nuclear bombs being shot fucking up the earth.
After all,
I wonder if they moved the doomsday clock any closer to midnight since Joe Biden started doing this bullshit.
Ukrainians were firing ATACMS for the first time.
Let's see how many seconds to midnight the doomsday clock is.
That essentially said that any kind of serious attack against Russia could prompt a nuclear response.
What is
And
the
that,
current
of course, was geared
time
again toward
for the
essentially
nuclear
scaring
clock?
the West away from helping the Ukrainians.
Yeah, we
But
need
at
to
the
stop
end of the
helping
day,
them.
each time that the United States...
Let's see how many minutes we are till midnight. That's what I gotta ask. How many minutes is the nuclear clock currently till midnight? Midnight is when nuclear bombs start going off, by the way.
Where that might end. Still, it's terribly dangerous, no question about it, but I think both sides are sort of gaming.
It's
how
90
Mr. Trump
degrees
might
to
respond. And I'll
midnight,
give you
as
one
of when, though?
possibility. Mr. Trump clearly wants to settle this.
90
And,
seconds
I
to
don't doubt
midnight
that
we're
he
at.
wants a Nobel
So
Peace
a little bit
Prize
over
for
a
doing it.
minute. That's not that
He
bad.
could
They didn't
turn
change
around
it
to
yet,
the
though.
Ukrainians and say, if you don't come to the negotiating table, I will not supply you. But at the same time, he could go to Putin and say, if you don't come to the negotiating table, I will supply the Ukrainians with every single thing they want. That might bring them together. So that's one scenario that I think one has to consider.
Trump getting in
It's
office
not
will bring them
merely that
together.
Trump
Joe
might walk
Biden
away
ain't
from
bringing
Ukraine.
shit together.
And that's terribly important, particularly in the context we're now in, where there's a completely new level of missile exchanges.
People must be busy right now. I don't got no other viewers other than that.
Mr. Zakheim, we'll have to leave it there.
773-630
Thank you
crew.
very much for your time. Don Zakheim is a former Undersecretary of Defense in George W. Bush administration and currently Senior Advisor at Center for Strategic and International Studies. Mr. Zakheim, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Now on the battlefront, Moscow and Kiev have escalated their use of long-range missiles
Oh,
after the
great.
United
That
States
sounds
gave
lovely.
Ukraine approval to use the weapons against Russia.
Well, our next story explains how long-range Western missiles changed the calculus in the region. Take a look.
Where's all my viewers at, man? We had like 8,000 viewers on one of the live streams the other day. Where's my 8,000
The
viewers at?
battlefield is ablaze. Ukraine fires Western-supplied long-range missiles deep into Russian territory. Russia responds with a hypersonic strike on Dnipro using its deadly Oreshnik missile. Russia says its air defenses have shot down
they have every right to do.
missiles fired by Ukraine without
Where's all the
saying what
cars
kind
at?
of missiles were used or where they were shot down. Each
Hold up a
missile is
second.
dragging the conflict into dangerous new territory. Moscow says the Oreshnik missile isn't
Hello,
just
here they
fast,
are.
it's unstoppable. It flies at
Are there
10
less of them,
times
though?
the
Seems
speed
like
of
there's a
sound,
couple less.
carrying multiple warheads
California
to strike
plates.
separate targets, as seen in this
See, they're still
video.
Magnus cars. And I get you,
Yeah,
they're
I would say-
gonna take these cars, some of them, and drive them back to fucking their country. And if they got to put them on a boat to get them to their country, they'll do that with the money, with our tax money. So they're going to take our tax money, use it to buy the American-built car that should be left in this country, drive it back to their country under the tax money that they got from us, which they will then in turn use for gasoline to drive the car back to their country and possibly paying for a boat to get it to their country. So we're taking our wealth and giving it out of the country, our cars. So now X, Y, and Z, those type of cars, there'll be that many less of because we just had all these migrants that are going to take on our tax money, take our cars that were made here out. And they're going to drive them bitches out. Yeah, there's less of them here, that's for sure.
Russia boasts its experimental hypersonic missile cannot be intercepted. Ukraine is worried and is demanding advanced air defense systems from the West to shield itself from
Fuck
Russian
Ukraine.
missiles. Western nations now face an acute dilemma. While Ukraine urgently seeks advanced air defense systems like Patriot and THAAD, NATO countries hesitate to deploy these sophisticated platforms. Their reluctance stems from concerns about exposing cutting-edge military technology to Russian and Chinese intelligence analysis. Unlike Russia, which flaunts its new weapons, the West traditionally keeps them under wraps. The race to gain a battlefield edge intensifies as both sides prepare for a potential shift in U.S. policy, with Donald Trump's impending inauguration in January. For NATO, this escalation underlines the growing urgency to balance support for Ukraine against the risk of direct confrontation with Moscow. Bureau Report, Beyond World One.
Park there. That's a bad parking spot.
The Ukraine war has reached a critical juncture. Moscow claims Donald Trump's circle is discussing a peace plan, while Biden's administration doubles down
Facts.
on escalation.
That's what they're doing.
Sometimes Kyiv faces mounting pressure as the West shows signs of.
What, the video's got to be titled Joe Biden trying to start World War III for everyone to tune in? God damn, is that the only thing my viewers are interested in? That UFOs that the U.S. government is admitting are real? To make it look so dramatic, but it is. Man, there's that delay on that video as long as hell.
Ukraine's strategic thrust into Russia's Kursk region, aimed at disrupting Moscow's advances and strengthening its negotiation leverage, has backfired.
What the fuck am I on? Yeah, we got a good video coming up. What the fuck is that? Oh.
And continue to advance in eastern Donetsk.
Yeah, we got a good video coming up right after this. Just gotta get ready. Give me a second.
Forcing Ukrainians to retreat.
Well, that's what that is. That fucking stupid little bike lane shit.
The goal remains unchanged: to fully occupy the.
Hold on. We got a good video coming up, just so y'all know.
On both military and diplomatic fronts, signal a potential turning point. Potential policy shift in Washington, contrasting.
Alright, we're gonna make this video quick. We got a video coming up after this. That's gonna be, you're definitely gonna want to watch it. It's gonna be about immigrants.
Biden allowed Ukraine to fire long-range missiles inside Russia.
Disgusting.
Sent controversial anti-personnel mines to Ukraine and released fresh military aid.
Из круга сторонников Трампа и тех, кто был номинирован на будущие должности, будущая администрация, слово «мир» или «мирный план» звучит из уст представителей действующей администрации.
NATO's leadership, recognizing the gravity of the moment, rushed to the U.S. to hold discussions with President-elect Donald Trump in Florida. The details are not known, but the military bloc is anxious given Trump's stance towards NATO. On the other hand, cracks appear in the Western alliance as France implicitly criticizes Germany's reluctance to provide long-range missiles to Ukraine. Facing crumbling front lines, Zelensky pivots, claiming that Ukraine has every chance to end the war next year.
They can end the war
As Biden
now.
continues to arm Ukraine, which
They
is
don't
in
want to.
contrast with Trump's peace overtures, the Russia-Ukraine war now enters a critical juncture. The big question, when and how will the war end? We will report beyond World is One.
For more on this, we have with us Professor David Dunn, Professor of International Politics in the Department of Political Science and International Studies at the University of Birmingham. Professor, thank you so much for joining us on WION. What are your thoughts about Moscow's recent statement that Donald Trump is talking about a peace deal on the one hand, but current President Biden is escalating the war?
Well, it's partly to do with the curious setup of the American democracy, whereby we have this 2-month period where we have the anticipation of a new president, but the reality of the old one. And what's happening there is that there's an indication of a change in policy. Whereas Biden said he would support Ukraine for as long as it takes, Trump has said he wants to bring the war to an end more quickly. Now, what that means, of course, is yet to be determined. But what we have then is a situation whereby you have one policy being pursued by the Biden administration of increasing the amount of arms sent to Ukraine and trying to shore up their position in the face of Russian escalation, at the same time as the Trump team are talking privately to the Russians about what the framework of that sort of agreement might look like. But the detail of that we won't know until Trump takes power in 20th of January next year.
And what do you make of the timing of President Biden's push? First of all, he's allowed missiles to be fired inside Russia. He's allowed controversial anti-personnel mines to Ukraine.
Like,
an
subscribe, share, by the way.
$275 million package to Ukraine as well. Is this to make negotiations perhaps better for Ukraine? Is this a last push to
Can you guys hear it
Ukraine
okay?
will defeat Russia? Why is he doing this?
I think there are several aspects
How's the
of
sound?
this.
Can
As
you
you
hear it
indicated
okay?
in your question, there is a desire to have put Ukraine in the best position possible for any negotiations that may
How's the
well
sound? Can
actually
someone comment
freeze
how
the
the
front
sound
lines
is?
At that point. And therefore, if Ukraine can be
How's the
supported
sound? Can you guys
to
hear it? I got the
using
volume up all
more
the way.
territory, then that would be, of course, to Ukraine's advantage. And an aspect of that is that the Russians have escalated their
you guys can
attacks
hear
and their
it, good.
violence against aggression against
Like,
Ukraine.
subscribe, share, by the way.
bringing
Hit that thumbs up.
10,000 North Korean troops. They're using North Korean long-range weapons. They're using Iranian long-range weapons.
Made by the
and they're
US.
having, supplies coming in from China. So what America is saying is that we are responding to Russia's aggression by
No,
changing the rules of
we're
engagement with regard
escalating
to longer-range
Russia
weapons
fucking to be
in
aggressive.
Europe. And the third aspect of this,
Honestly, I
is
think
that
I
because
think the whole
Trump has
country should
indicated
just go
a
half of it to
different
Russia, half of
approach
it to the
to
U.S.
Russia,
With how much
that
money we
the
giving these
Russians
fuckers
won't
already?
want to respond
We've
by
given them
escalating
billions
even
on
further,
billions of dollars.
knowing that
I think
in
the amount of
doing so
money
risks a
that they
wider
owe
war in
us
Europe,
back,
when there's a
I think we
cost
should
case
just take
in
their
2 months'
country
time,
and give the
because
portion that
President
Russia
Trump
wants to
will take a more
Russia,
lenient
and
approach
we
to
take
their
the
policy
rest as
in
part of the
Ukraine.
USA.
So in a sense, the Biden administration is using this
I think
window of
Russia would be
opportunity
down with
to
that.
actually,
I don't think he would fight it.
increase its support for
If we
Ukraine,
told Russia, you know
knowing
what,
that
we're
is
gonna,
unlikely to
if we,
provoke
I
Russia
guarantee
too
you,
much.
if we told Russia when Trump gets in office, look, we're gonna let you have this X amount of Ukraine, but at the same time, America's gonna take the rest of this portion of Ukraine. I guarantee you, Putin would agree with it, and that's what I strongly believe we should do, because all the fucking money we've given that jagoff Zelensky, the president of Ukraine.
Amid shifting front lines, Kiev is facing mounting
Kiev.
pressure as the West shows signs of division. Here's a report.
We should just take Ukraine and Russia and say, Russia, you're getting this much of Ukraine, the United States is taking the rest, and there's no more Ukraine. Hit thumbs up if you agree.
Guys, I need to show you how I'm only paying $38 a month for car insurance. You're
Yeah,
not
and your
going
car
to
ain't gonna get fixed, idiot. Oh, this is live.
Ukraine's strategic thrust into
Fuck
Russia's
Ukraine.
first region, aimed at disrupting Moscow's advances and strengthening its negotiation leverage, has backfired. Ukrainian military admits that Russian forces have reclaimed over 40% of the territory in Kursk, which Ukraine had earlier seized in August.
And America should take the rest of Ukraine. They owe us the rest of their country for all the billions of dollars we gave Ukraine. So they owe us, America, their land now. So there's no more Ukraine. Russia gets their portion, America gets our portion because of all the money we gave them. Problem solved.
And expel Ukrainian forces from contested regions. The shifting dynamic on both military and diplomatic fronts signal a potential turning point in the conflict. Moscow is saying that Trump's peace plan hints at a potential policy shift in Washington, contrasting stark.
That immigration video we just made is going to air tomorrow at 9/11 or on Thanksgiving. I forgot what I said it
Joe
for.
Biden allowed Ukraine to fire long-range missiles inside Russia, sent controversial
That's
anti-personnel
bad on
laws
Joe
to
Biden's
Ukraine,
part.
and released fresh military aid.
из круга сторонников Трампа и тех, кто был номинирован на будущие должности, будущая администрация, слово «мир» или «мирный план» звучит из уст представителей действующей администрации.
NATO's leadership, recognizing the gravity
We're going to talk to some Venezuelans on the next live here in a couple minutes.
Discussions with President-elect Donald Trump in Florida. The details are not known, but the military bloc is anxious given Trump's stance towards NATO. On the other hand, cracks appear in the Western alliance as France implicitly criticizes
Fuck that guy.
Germany's
Fuck you,
reluctance to
Zelensky.
provide long-range missiles to Ukraine.
No, we shouldn't be doing
Facing
that.
crumbling front lines, Zelensky pivots, claiming that Ukraine has every chance to end the war next year. As Biden continues to arm Ukraine, which is in
Disgusting.
contrast to Trump's
Fuck you,
peace
Joe Biden.
overtures, the Russia-Ukraine war now enters a critical juncture. The big question: when and how will the war end?
Hopefully not nuclear, with nuclears, bombs.
The pro-Russian war media and bloggers reported that Russia has dismissed a senior commander following claims that he made false reports about the progress of Russian forces in Ukraine. Colonel General Gennady Anishkin, head of the South Forces Group, was reportedly removed after providing misleading information about the situation near the Siversk settlement in Donetsk. Military bloggers and
Trump
Russian media sources suggest his removal is part of a planned rotation, though Russian officials have not confirmed this move. Prominent Russian military bloggers and blogs have also highlighted growing concerns over the accuracy of reports from the front lines. Can they be believed? Several blogs have also criticized and condemned Anishkin's claims, describing them as part of a wider pattern of misinformation. One of the most alarming aspects of this situation is the heavy losses suffered by Russian forces due to inaccurate reporting. According to some sources, commanders have overestimated territorial gains, leading to misguided tactics that have put Russian troops at a greater risk. Military bloggers who have played an
Russia's killing it. Get the fuck out of here with that
in
shit.
providing updates from the battlefield are suggesting that several commanders have made such false claims.
North Korea is expanding a key weapons manufacturing unit that assembles a type of short-range missile used by Russia.
And now North Korea's got a
Researchers
nuclear
in
bomb
the
that
United
Russia
States
gave
have
them.
reached a conclusion based on satellite images. As per reports, the facility known as the February 11th plant is part of the Ryongseong Machine Complex located in the eastern coast of North Korea. Is known to produce the Hwasong 11 class of solid-fuel ballistic missiles. The report also suggests that the images show additional assembly buildings intended to home workers of the facilities.
Ukrainian officials have said that these munitions, known as the KN-23 in the West, have been used by Russia in the ongoing war, a charge refused by both Moscow and Pyongyang. However, in September, North Korea tested a version of the KN-23 with a 4.5-ton warhead. Both the nations signed a mutual defense treaty at a summit in June and have pledged to boost their military
Time to get on
strategic
top of
ties.
some immigrants.
over to the other war front. Ukraine is reportedly losing ground in the Kursk region of Russia. Now, to remind you, Ukraine had carried out an incursion of this Kursk region in order to help it negotiate with Russia for the territories that Russia had annexed inside Ukraine. In the latest, a senior Ukrainian official reveals that over 40% of the land that Ukraine seized in its incursion has now been lost. Ukraine controlled over 1,300 square kilometers. That is what was claimed in the Kursk region. And as of now, only 800 square kilometers is under Ukrainian control as per reports. The unexpected incursion of Kursk took place in August earlier this year by the Ukrainian forces, and it completely caught Moscow off guard, prompting Russia to deploy thousands of additional troops in the region. But Russia did not pull back its troops that were fighting inside Ukraine, something Ukraine expected Russia to do. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has recently warned that Russia aims to push Ukrainian forces out of the area by January 2025, because this is the month, January 2025, when Trump takes to the Oval Office. Meanwhile, Ukraine is investigating debris from a Russian ballistic missile that hit the city of...
If Joe Biden doesn't start World War III before he can get
in...
in.
all over the world. First time that Russia carried out this intermittent range hypersonic missile and targeted the Dnipro region. Ukraine's security services further suggested that the missile was likely from Russia's Kiev missile complex. The missile, which had a speed of 13,000 kilometers per hour, struck a Ukrainian military facility.
These missile fragments were found and seized by the investigators of the security service as a result of a missile strike that was carried out on the city of Dnipro on November 21st, 2024. It should be said that this is the first time that such remnants of a missile have been discovered on the territory of Ukraine. This object had not been documented by the investigators of the security services before.
Russian President Vladimir Putin confirmed the use of advanced intermediate-range hypersonic missiles. He further added that the attack was a warning to the West against further support to Ukraine in the ongoing war. Now, a military source told Russian news agencies that a UK mercenary identified as James Scott Anderson was taken prisoner.
But if we give Ukraine a nuclear warhead, honestly, I don't blame you.
On camera, claimed to have served in the 22nd Signal Regiment of the UK Armed Forces from 2019 to 2023. He also stated that he applied to join the Ukrainian Foreign Legion after he was dismissed from service. He is now in Russian custody. Mike Waltz, who is Donald Trump's national security advisor nominee, has said that the incoming Trump administration will bring the war to a responsible end. Trump has also previously stated that he would end the war within 24 hours.
Yes, he will.
The president-elect has been very concerned about the escalation and where it's all going.
Biden wants to escalate
North Korea has made this move. We have made a move. Russia has now responded. Iran is involved. South Korea is thinking about getting involved. Our allies have now, extended the range of their missiles as well. So we need to bring this to a responsible end. We need to restore deterrence, restore peace, and get ahead of this escalation.
Man, them immigrants in that last video, they told the cop I had a gun, lying-ass motherfuckers.
Moscow claims Donald Trump's circle is discussing a peace plan, while Joe Biden's administration doubles down on escalation. Amid shifting front lines, Kiev faces mounting pressure as the West shows signs.
I think we gotta take the hat off for this.
Take a look at this.
Yeah, let's go do this. Like, subscribe, share. Make sure you hit thumbs up. We'll be right back with Immigration Live.